Oh, actually, no.
No, do it.
No. You came with it. It's a hot take.
We gotta edit some of this after.
All right.
A lot of the certain European things. I don't want to sound.
Yeah.
He just says a
European.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of After the Match presented by HEB. Today we have Junk and Jake as usual, and for today's guest we have Pelican. Let's get right to it. Alright, so what was your favorite match this season, Junk?
Favorite match?
Yeah, favorite match. Do you have like an insane comeback?
No, I don't. I can't think of one.
It's all a blur. It's all a blur. Yeah, you have one, Jake?
Not really.
I actually have. I'll start. So, for me, I'd say our first Battle for Texas. First Battle for Texas, first LAN. I think, especially for like players like Merit, was like their first like Overwatch League LAN, right? And I think even though everyone was like pretty nervous, like I remember when we were all lined up at the backstage, everyone was like pretty nervous, but then we like kicked ass. So I think like Merit got a lot of like confidence out of that too. So I'd say that was like my favorite match of the season. Pretty like it like showed me what they were capable of, and I was like surprised Merit was able to perform that well in the LAN too. So that's my favorite. 너는 있어, 태연아? 그러니까 이번 시즌에서 제일 마음에 들었던 경기.
델러스 둘 다.
둘 다? Yeah, so Pelican is like the both Battle for Texas ones against Dallas. Yeah, I think like just I think I remember what Pelican said. 그 뭐지? 그 우리 경기 두 번째 최근에 가서 이긴 거 그 뭐지? 관중들 존나 조용했던 거.
네.
그거 마음에 들지 않았냐?
네.
So he's saying that like he like really liked it when after we beat them, like the Dallas home crowd was like super quiet. So he really liked that. And for next question, how are y'all preparing going into the playoffs, Junk?
Same as always, I guess.
Yeah, we'll be doing like more scrims, I guess, than normal when we get the final patch because we don't have that much time to prepare. But that's just normal. It's just prepping a bunch for the final patch. It's obviously end of the season. You gotta put the grind in.
Almost there, guys. What are your guys' favorite Pokemon? Junk, do you know like the names?
Pokemon?
Yeah.
All these questions I have to think a lot.
Yeah, it's like these are like.
It's like I never think. It's like questions I never think about or consider. Pokemon. What do I like?
What was the third gen water Pokemon? The Dino one? No, it's not. It's like
Totodile?
Yeah, that one.
That's the second gen.
Oh, was it second gen?
I think so.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I always had like I always enjoyed my water types, water starters. 너 포켓몬 했었냐? 어렸을 때? 진짜?
네, 안
This guy never played Pokemon.
Yeah, me neither actually.
Oh,
really?
Really? What?
You're the rare one.
Yeah.
I'm in like the age of where everyone played Pokemon, but I didn't really. I must have played it at some point.
You have no childhood.
I have no memories of that. I played like I had like PlayStation games back in the day. I played like Crash Bandicoot. That was my childhood.
No, you don't have a childhood.
It was not Pokemon. It doesn't count.
Yeah, Pokemon was like such a dominant one back then too.
Yeah.
Is it like still? Would you guys say it's still pretty popular?
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
it doesn't have the same impact as it when it first probably.
Because there was like nothing
Yeah.
but Pokemon back then. Like, it was like so dominant.
Back then it was like unique.
It was like the first of its kind. You know?
That's true. That's true. And then like Digimon came.
So now
Yeah.
people have copied the success because it was so
Yeah.
incredible. So it's they'll never achieve that again. When
Yeah.
you're the first, you're the only. You know that's a unique time in like gaming history.
And what do each of you plan to do with your share of $1 million prize pool, or prize after you win the tournament? So he says when, not if.
Save for retirement.
Save for retirement.
I never really thought about it. How to think of again.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? Buy like a car? So you just save
No,
for retirement, bro. Like,
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do, like,
you
with a bunch
sell
of
your
money?
car, right?
no, I just don't need like there's nothing. I'm not gonna change my life in any way. If I win $10 million, I wouldn't change my life. If I win the lottery, I wouldn't change my life in any way.
너는 그 뭐지?
Really? I would change my life.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, what would you do with it? It's like
I mean, maybe I'd like live in a slightly nicer place. Like I wouldn't worry about getting like a smaller apartment. Like maybe I have a little bit of a bigger apartment, but it'd be like marginal things.
there, like, an item
I wouldn't
that you guys
like
would
buy a car.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would,
No,
there's no
if
item.
I'm like
I wouldn't buy a watch.
I
or a
might like
car.
always move. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll live in this country for a bit, and now move to
You
live
just
in
travel
it.
around.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows all
Retire early and just travel. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that though. I mean, I just like my work. So.
너는 이제 그 뭐지? 1밀리언이 10억인가? 그러니까 그 프라이즈 받으면은 그
네.
상금 받으면은 만약 뭐 할 것 같냐? 이제 제이크는
네.
저축한대.
어,
너 개심 넣어준 사람이고 이제 정목님은 또 어디서 다른 데서
Not with the prize money. That's so little.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
with the
it is
lottery.
it is like
Yeah.
actually like not that significant. You know,
Yeah.
it's like not life changing money.
But you, my point is, even if it was life
Yeah,
changing,
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't change. my life.
Realistically, yeah.
Not much.
I would do some messed up things with spy calls, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll be like spy calls by then. Who knows? Who knows where the economy is going?
Yeah, you do it like
Maybe
two
that-
times and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Your prize money is gone.
Throw back to GameStop.
Just go to Vegas and gamble it all away.
Yeah, fucking might as well do that. 난뭐 딱히 있어?
딱히 집 사야죠.
She was like, oh, he wants to buy a house. So, might not be enough. He said, might not be enough.
These days, yeah. Hey, it's a start, man.
It's a start. You get
It's
a
a
good
start.
mortgage. And next question is milk question mark. Milk.
You know, I haven't had milk in a long time because I always have milk substitutes now. I drink like oat milk or almond milk. I guess oat milk's like the more environmentally friendly one, so I started to switch to oat
What is
milk.
it supposed to mean? Like, do we like milk or?
That's a question. It says milk question mark.
Yeah, I mean,
there's an
I
open-ended
guess,
question. We do whatever we want with
Wait,
it.
so there's like a discussion about whether you like milks or not. It's like
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
common
some people are
controversy.
Yeah, 'cause,
lactose
like-
intolerant, right? So
Yeah. So
So then those people just don't eat. There's like controversy.
I mean, I don't
No,
drink
no.
milk. I'm not lactose intolerant. I just don't drink milk. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think people in general have been like staying away from like milk because like it's like not that healthy. I guess a lot of sugar gets people
Oh,
fat.
really?
But for me, it was like in college, it was like so good for gaining weight. It was so good for gaining weight for me because like
Yeah.
for me it was like anything that I can drink was like so easy to just like put calories on. But you know, it was like so bad because I'm lactose intolerant and it's like I was like
Pain.
thinking for a while. I was you know those like pills that you can take. It has like enzymes that help you digest lactose basically. And I would like be taking that with milk, but it was not working. My stomach like just was not
still
happy.
rebelling.
Yeah. So oat milk all the way. Woo.
Yeah, I have no opinion. Same as Coke or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much opinion.
태연아,
on that.
너는 뭐 우유 좋아해?
우유?
잘 마셔?
네, 저 우유
Yeah.
좋아합니다.
Yeah. Pelly loves milk. And for Pelican, how do you feel about playing on stage? Does it motivate you, scare you, or does it not really affect you? 이제 너한테 하는 질문인데
네.
이제 너가 무대에서 뛸 때, 경기장에서 뛸 때 뭐 더 뭐 무섭거나 아니면 막 더 긴장되거나 아니면 이제 뭐 좀 더 텐션 업된다든지 뭐 그런 게 딱히 있어?
긴장.
긴장?
네, 긴장만.
So Pelly says not much other than like just kind of I don't want to say like it's not entirely nervousness, but just some of it I think. But I feel like everyone once they're like actually playing, it gets a lot better.
So it's like those tension you get. It's like people play better. People play better if you have a little bit of nerve.
Yeah, there's
like,
more on
tense.
edge.
Yeah.
There's definitely more.
Yeah,
on
more
edge.
like adrenaline.
Yeah. I think it's like it depends on the player. Like some people can really use that to their advantage. They can like harness it, and some people like kind of like buckle to it. So it really depends. And for everyone, where did you all place in ranked? Place? Like just like the first few games? Yeah, what would you guys place?
My first placement was like gold 2 or something.
Damn.
Okay.
I think for what'd you get? Jake?
Oh, I said not this Overwatch 2, like the first Overwatch.
No,
I think he means Overwatch 2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
I was Masters 3 was my placement.
Yeah, I think it was Masters 5. 너 이거 뭐 받았냐? 처음 했을 때.
오버워치요?
어.
저 마스터 1.
Master. Damn it, he's Masters 1. Jake's Masters 3.
That sounds
I got
about
Master 5.
Sounds about right.
Hey, I didn't play for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
There it is. And for everyone, what is your favorite Overwatch cinematic? You know, the most recent one was pretty good. The Kiriko one was like
yeah, the Kirk one was great.
But honestly, all of them were like very good.
They're all so good. Yeah, I think the it was the first one, right? The Genji and Hanzo one.
Yeah, was that the first one?
There's like
No.
bunch. There's a lot. Like there's a Winston one that fights with Reaper. There's a Widow one that fights with Tracer.
Yeah.
There's like a
Was that before the Hanzo and Genji one though?
I think so.
I think
Those
so.
are like
Ah,
the one
okay.
of the
Yeah.
first.
I honestly can't remember. Yeah, I remember the one with like Winston, Tracer, Widow, and Reaper. They're in like with the Punch Kit. I think that might have been the very first one.
Yeah.
But then maybe the Genji and Hanzo one. I think those ones were all before the game came out, or like right at the when it was coming out. They were like more close together.
I in my memory, the Genji one was more of a like the newer one of the series.
Really?
The first
Wow.
batch,
I
think.
feel like it was forever. I can't
I
remember
feel
at
like
this
the Punch
point.
Kit
But
was like the more iconic one.
yeah, that was like the OG
That was
one. But
actual Overwatch.
for me, the
trailer.
Hanzo and Genji one was the one that like made me the most excited to play Overwatch.
Wait, it came out before?
Maybe
it might have been like
yeah.
right at the beginning or
Right.
during beta. It might have been during beta,
Yeah,
something like that.
I think most
it
of
was
them
super
came around
early.
the same time.
Yeah,
and
there
then
was
just
one
stopped.
like back-
And then the Ash.
The first few were all
one came
together.
out, and then the.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Ryan one. I like the Ryan one actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a few that was like one every year. It was like
Yeah,
a Ryan
yeah.
one. The Bastion one was later, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
than the other
yeah.
ones. The Ryan one was later. Yeah.
너는 시네마틱 좋아하는 거 있었어?
시네마틱?
어. 그 짧은
음.
단편 같은 거 나온 거.
이번에 키리코.
Kiriko?
어,
Oh, yeah. So
간지 나던데요?
So for Pelican, it was a Kiriko. To be honest, like the drop of that cinematic was like very well done. I think.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I like the Kiriko one the
Yeah.
second most too, actually.
Yeah, they
I
did
would
that one
say.
really well.
Very cool. What do you think is a team's greatest strength going into playoffs?
Creator strength, I would say our players are good.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
players.
like individually, really high skill.
We have good players and we trust them. Yes, sir. And do you feel that there are enough teams in the league to keep things interesting for you as a player and for the league in general?
20 teams sounds right.
I guess the only thing is that we don't really get to see them for the most part.
Yeah, with the APAC
Yeah.
teams
I
having
mean,
the division
even-
split, but even, at least being in it, I think being
I
in
would say at
APAC
least-
would be bad. Like, there's not enough teams in APAC.
Yeah. Actually, like 7 teams or something like that. It seems
Yeah,
it's like
too
too
little.
little.
Yeah. But having like whatever
At
it
least
is,
10 teams.
13
10 teams. At least
yeah,
10
yeah,
teams,
yeah.
I think, will be fine. Actually.
Yeah.
having 13 teams in NA is plenty. It's like
Yeah.
keeps the competition varied. I think if you're playing the same team like 2 times a stage or something, it's we feel really bad.
Yeah.
So I guess in APAC, do they play each other once every stage? That would make sense, right?
No one knows the APAC format.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's just like they play each other more often,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
yeah,
there's
yeah,
less
yeah.
teams. I think that would probably be weird for the APAC teams, but I would, for NA, I think it's fine.
Yeah, for NA it always felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And for our hot take, what is something that's overrated?
In life,
Yeah, just whatever. Just what is something
Whatever
that's,
is what's overrated.
what is overrated? You know. iPhones are pretty overrated. I feel like like so there's so many things.
yeah, I feel like iPhones are simultaneously
No, I
overrated and
wouldn't call it
underrated.
overrated actually. iPhones, I don't consider overrated.
Because I think a lot
I
of
just
people
don't like
hate
it.
iPhones, right? So I think the iPhone actually gets criticized pretty
That's true.
fairly, perhaps, but I don't think. I think at this point, maybe for a few years it was over. When it was like the first, there was a few years where other phones had like started to catch up and do it better or be just as good as iPhones, but then there was still like the sheen of the iPhone.
Yeah.
So maybe that is overrated in a
I
sense.
guess it's kind of how like Tesla remains in the EV industry.
Oh, I
like,
think Teslas are overrated. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because like a lot of cars did catch up. You know, like the
Yeah.
battery life is like the only thing they have still going for them. But
From what I've heard, the build quality of Teslas like isn't that good.
Well, it's the car might be overrated, but I don't think the how it came to be is not really overrated. I think.
What do you
Yeah,
mean, like
yeah.
electric
Like-
cars in general.
No,
or-
like the
To be the
name,
first-
the name, the Tesla.
Oh,
the,
you mean Nikolai Tesla
no,
himself?
no, the brand, the car brand, the EV, the how the Elon Musk.
I mean, they
the,
did it
the
first.
Stock
They
price,
were the first to make it right.
them being they people say it's not a car company, it's a data company because you collect all the data from all the cars
Yeah, yeah.
like driving around in the US.
I heard them like be called like battery companies too.
Yeah, so battery company.
battery
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
I
So
mean, they
the-
make a lot
so-
of battery products, and it's like with the Powerwall and
So
whatnot.
for me, it's just another tech company. Like
Yeah.
you can say,
I
like,
do think the car is a little overrated, though.
so.
That's where I will say. Well, just at least now, it's like they're like the iPhone. You know, it's like
Uh-huh.
when the iPhone came out, it was the first smartphone. It's like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
an incredible new innovation, and so it's same for Tesla. It was like the first person to make the
I mean,
first
I'll
company.
never drive Tesla, but
to make
I think
a-
I understand the hype. Around.
to make a good EV. But now it's like now I feel they might be overpriced for the value in the market, and then yeah. So I would say the cars are overrated. Same way as iPhone over. Like iPhone's still a great product. Tesla's still a great
No,
product.
I don't think tech companies
but-
are that overrated. I think it's hard for the tech companies to be overrated. It has to be like a very some weird startup that's like those can be overrated. I
Yeah,
guess.
but I don't think like Apple is overrated. But or like 5 years ago, I would agree the iPhone was overrated. But then I wouldn't criticize Apple itself because they made all these like different innovative products over
so
time.
The product, that
So
product,
that's what I'd say. Like Tesla
the-
overall is like done a really good job. I don't think they're overrated, but I do think
Cars,
the car
products.
itself is like the price point on the car seems like there's like a lot of restrictions on the car. You know.
Really?
Well, like you can only get them repaired. at
Okay,
the
I don't want to
dealership
talk about
and-
the
Bring
Tesla
Dante over
too
here. Bring
much.
Dante in here.
But I heard like the Tesla cars are like actually, what was it? The build quality might be bad.
Yeah,
but
that's the main criticism I've heard. That like you're paying a lot for a quality that.
but you're getting
Isn't
a
as good.
performance of like a very like a high end car. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
so that's why the price are set at certain set, and so in the end the market speaks for itself. And
Yeah. But I also think it's like the same reason that like there's like off-brand sports cars that are like performance-wise pretty comparable to like the name brands that you would know really well, like the household brand names like Ferrari or whatever. But the Ferrari is going to cost way more because it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, but
And so
then
that- I
but
think
what,
Tesla has a bit of that
but what off-brand performance cars has that performance though? Like
What
only
about,
thing I
like-
can think of is a Kia Stinger, and then everything else is like
like Hyundai's N series. Hyundai's N series is like the basically.
yeah, Elantra N. I
no,
get.
the N series is like apparently like
But
really fun to
Elantra N,
drive, like-
Veloster N, I guess. But those are also like in
Or
the
there-
end.
there's companies like Lotus make sports cars.
Lotus is expensive though.
Yeah, to be fair, that's
Yeah.
very
Lotus is so
expensive.
expensive.
So we have to talk about like cheap cars that has the performance, but
But
the
then
cheap
where are we
cars that
going?
actually
Yeah,
has
yeah.
performance are actually not that cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. The Tesla does have good performance. I do think though, like if you spend the same amount of money on other cars, you can get like the better build quality and the performance. You know, maybe it's the EV
So-
factor, but
I'm a
Yeah,
bit
so
of a
at,
simp for
so
it.
at
More
the
for
end,
EV.
any new car is not good for value.
yeah,
period.
that's a good point.
So
if you're paying the new price, it's like you're already you want a new car. That's like the reason you buy a new car
Jo-
in the end,
John, what-
just to have peace of mind.
How do you say overrated in Korean? Let's ask Pele.
overrated.
고평가? 이제
맞아.
이제
맞아.
뭐 이제 뭐가 고평가 받는 것 같아. 이제 딱히 오버워치에 대해서 아니어도 이제 우리는 그 뭐 아이폰이나 테슬라 이런 차 얘기했는데.
그러니까 그만큼 가치가 안 되는데 고평가 받는 거.
거품,
가치-
거품, 뭐가 존나
거품낀 거.
거품인 거.
나.
나.
안 돼. 아니야. 컷. Pelly jokingly says me because he didn't know he couldn't come up with an answer, but that's not true. That's not true. But you know, yeah.
Very humble guy.
Yes, very humble.
Very humble.
Pelly's
I
all about being
appreciate that.
humble. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice guy.
Actually no. This
No,
might-
do it.
No,
It's
you
not-
came
not
with it. It's a
hard.
hot take.
We gotta edit some of this after.
All right.
A lot of the certain European things. I don't want to sound.
Yeah.
He just says a European.
I don't
be more-
so I don't want to be
blanket statement.
specific and then be offensive to
Yeah,
those
yeah,
No.
people.
I feel like it's more offensive if you're not specific. Like saying it just European things are overrated. I think that's more
So
offensive.
it's up to it's out there. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Even
Whatever-
some
however
Europeans
you-
might think of Southern European things overrated, you know. So I'm making a very, very vague. I don't want to target specific country, you know.
Alrighty, well, that pretty much concludes our episode of After the Match. Thank you again to HEB, and we'll see you guys. Well, is this our last episode of the season? Damn.
Wow, it's been a
Oh,
ride.
actually, okay. I'll just say it. I think French wines are overrated.
French wines.
French
all
wines?
right.
Wine. I feel like wine. Yeah, you're right. Like I think like some alcohol like definitely can be like.
Yeah,
that.
it's like the true champagne and like true bourbon thing. It's like, I mean, like the legal definitions of like true champagne and true bourbon is like that it's made in the
Yeah,
region,
yeah.
which, you know, it's like in a way it makes sense. Like I guess there's certain properties of like the land there where the crops might grow in a certain way.
Okay, I'll talk more. I'm gonna just keep going with it. I think traveling in Western Europe is also overrated.
Ah.
Going to like Paris and like
Yeah, Paris, London, whatever.
Yeah.
Western Europe is also overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, the old European cities. Okay, I'll not get there.
Title this episode. John picked-
Hates Europe. Junk hates Europe.
No, but then like there's like good Eastern European countries. That
So you prefer
consider-
Eastern Europe to Western Europe
Yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of traveling.
Yeah.
You probably get way better bang for your buck.
Yeah.
For sure. You got anything else, Doug?
No, I'll stop there.
All right, well, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in as always. Now, this is going to be our last episode of After the Match, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys. Woo!